high stake showdown in Vegas. Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. We're going into week 6. We got a high stake showdown in Vegas against the Vegas Raiders. And this is a game that the Steelers really need to get themselves back on track after losing 2 games in a row. Um, you know, I think actually for a couple players on this team, it's going to be some high stakes because we got some guys that I believe that's kind of playing for jobs. But with that said, let's just dive right into this game. Again, this is a winnable game for the Steelers. The Raiders are not going to be no pushovers, though. I think they're going to start O'Connell. So that's a kind of a break for the Steelers. But the Steelers need to still come in and handle business, especially on the defensive side, dealing with a lot of injuries, especially at the edge rusher position. It's going to be a lot of guys. They're going to have to kind of mix and match, dealing with that. So it's going to be very interesting of especially from the defensive side. Two of the best guys that can get to the quarterback. So look forward to that. I think this is a game where George Pickens is really going to need to have a bounce back game as far as producing on the field and none of that crazy mess that happened last week. I think this is going to be the first game that I would say that Justin Fields is going to have a little bit of pressure. I mean, I don't know if the Steelers really have announced who's starting, but I would think Fields is going to start this game. But this is going to be the first game that he kind of know that Russell Wilson is, he's ready to play, and he's there to, to substitute him if things don't go right. So I'm kind of interested in to see how Justin kind of do with that kind of hanging over his head a little bit. I still believe Russell Wilson will be the starting quarterback probably going next week against the Jets. So, we'll see how that go. But I think for right now, this is going to be Justin's game. And I expect him to have a good game. I mean, this is a pretty good defense to go up against. He should be able to make some things happen. So it's gonna be very interesting. Like I say, this is just gonna be the first game that he kind of know that Russell Wilson presence is there, and he can, he's ready to play. So just I want to see how he does under with that little bit of pressure on him. But the Steelers need to really bounce back here and get themselves back together, because I feel like they dropped 2 games that they were very winnable games, even though I had in my predictions, I had the Steelers being 4-1 right now. I actually had them losing the Cowboys game. But that was a winnable game that they should have had. But we're past that now. So like I say, going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, they lost their last game against the Denver Broncos. Kind of got beat up a little bit. So I'm quite sure they're looking to bounce back at home against the Steelers, and they're probably looking at, hey, this is a team that lost 2 games in a row and got some injuries, so maybe we can get some things done against them. And the Steelers got to make sure that doesn't happen, because they can't lose 3 games in a row. You kind of already gave up the lead in the division that you had over Baltimore, so you got to kind of keep pace with them. Um, but other than that, like I say, this is going to be a um, a game where I truly believe the Steelers can get. I want to see that offensive line. I mean, at least you're going into a second consecutive week of having the same offensive line. Need a lot of improvement from a lot of those guys. Um, but the person I'm going to truly be watching is Broderick Jones. I mean, if you've seen the film of him last week, he was terrible, and I'm getting a little concerned. I know he's kind of playing out of position. He want to be on the left side, but he's kind of becoming a little concerning to me. But we'll see what he do this week. Um, he's gonna have a tough matchup, so we'll see what happens, because I think Cosby kind of moves everywhere, all over the line. So if I'm him, I'm definitely trying to go up against him, because right now I think Jones is struggling a little bit, and that's just going to be something that Steelers going to have to really keep an eye on. But unfortunately, there's really nobody else there to put, so they're going to have to just make it happen with him, and hopefully he keep on developing, getting better. Um, and this is probably more of an all season thing. I think, me personally, Pat Myers might not be the guy for this offensive line. I mean, I'm not gonna never question a man's talent. I mean, he's coaching in the NFL, but I think sometimes you got some guys that maybe do better with more veteran type of offensive lines, and I think Pat Meyer, he might be that type of guy. And I think the Steelers really need a guy that's gonna um, get these young guys developed, because I want to say right now, especially with Broderick Jones, he's teetering. I think he's one of these guys that could go right for him, and he can go on, move on, and have a great career, or he can teeter the other way and be a bust. And I think it's just going to be some good coaching, and really somebody getting in his butt and getting him straight. Because, like I say, he's teetering right now, and he can go to the good side or he can go to the dark side. So we'll see what happened there. Um, Other than that, I think the Steelers, like I say, offensively, not too bad injury wise. Warren may come back. I know they had listed him as doubtful, but he may actually come back, and that's going to be a boost to the running game. Um, Receivers are pretty much healthy. Pickens, I want to say this is going to be a bounce back game for him, and he definitely needs it. So hopefully that'll work out for him. But George got to remember. I know a lot of people have said, Steelers should trade him or cut him or whatever. He's too much. He got too much talent. Let's just keep it what it is. He has too much talent, and the Steelers has always been, Mike Tomlin thing has always been, until I can replace you, you're going to be tolerated. And right now, other than the crazy mess on the field, I don't think he's a locker room problem, no off the field problem. So he has a lot of leeway here with the Steelers, before they just totally give up on him or send him packing. but I think George can right the ship. But it's just his thing is more maturity than anything. He just got to mature, and I think when the NFL get finished with him with the eye black and the little thing that happened at the end of the game, he probably played for free on Sunday night. So that'll straighten him up with all that crap. You won't have to worry about that no more. So we'll see. We'll see what the Steelers do. Hopefully they can get things right and come out of Vegas with a win and maybe get another winning streak going. And like I say, the interesting thing gonna be what's gonna happen next week. I'm predicting that Russell Wilson is gonna be put back as the starting quarterback, but we'll see. And until then, we'll talk to you later. All right, take care.